topic. Do you think it's the photographer that makes the pictures good or the camera? Because like right now, every year...
It is easy. It's never the camera.
It's never the camera.
Technology will always get better. But technology will never get as good as the brain.
True.
In my mind, I don't believe so. I believe technology will always... Like sometimes the tech comes there before people figure out how can we use this. But there's no... If a photographer gets better because of the technology, then they will get to a place where the technology, now the brain has to catch up. Like if the brain has to catch up to the technology, I feel like it's a problem.
It's a problem.
Because what happens when suddenly you're faced with inferior technology? It might not be a thing that happens, but I think, I mean, you will always know the photographer, because the good ones, to me, I've seen that they will always be able to use whatever it is that they have and still make good pictures. And I think there's an importance to that.
And that's a very interesting thing that you've said. And why I've asked that, it's because the last time we met, I saw you shooting film.
Yeah.
And I was so confused by them. But I was like, what?
It's like we've now gone back.
Film.
Yeah. And by the way, have you seen my film pictures on my Instagram?
They're nice.
They're so good. I look at them and I'm like, oh my goodness.
But it took me back to college because I remember there's this photography class that we're being forced to do. Let me just say being forced because I didn't like it.
It was not your... It wouldn't have been your option.
Like exposures didn't make any sense. And because if you ruin a picture, you've ruined it.
Yeah.
And then we were sharing like one camera, like I think 10 guys. So it's like, you guy, take 2 pictures, you take 2 pictures, you two pictures.
So how do you even know whose picture is?
Bro, I failed completely. Like I never passed photography any way at all. So it was very interesting to see you shooting film.
It was harder to learn
but
with film.
It was.
I think it was harder to learn.
No, it was definitely hard because you can't like preview. You have to be like, you really have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
What made you like, okay, say that I know I'm doing all this digital needs. I have all these cameras.
Yeah.
But let me go back to the classics and just start using film.
Yeah.
I mean, why?
It's just honestly been because what I've found by going to film, I've found that what I really love is the art of photography. It's not cameras that I like. In fact, I don't care about cameras enough. I'm not a tech guy who's like, wow, this camera has 124 frames per second.
You're not into those dynamic range and any.
I don't care too much.
You're not?
I'm always into what do I want to achieve. And if because I always think, there's a photographer who always said, and I love this quote, he describes photography, he's a guy called Ken Rockwell. He describes, he's a white male, but let's just forget that part.
Okay.
He describes photography as the power of observation and not the mastery of equipment or technology. Yeah. It's like photography is the power. Photography is the power of observation and not the mastery of technology.
Oh, true.
So when you think about it, if you love photography and if you love tech, those are 2 different things.
Yeah.
And when you see on YouTube now you can tell the difference. I can always tell the people who love tech.
Yeah. Just this
let's
camera,
not confuse them with photographers.
Yeah, true.
Let's not confuse.
Because if you go to a photographer's nini, you'll see how they work.
Like which sometimes it bums me up when people like
BHD.
Because God. I love his channel as a tech channel.
Yeah.
But when he is testing like cameras,
when he opens his closet and then you see all the.
But when he's testing like phone cameras, I'm like, I feel some type of way because I'm like,
this
okay,
is not the way you can.
But
to actually,
you're not giving the best. But I'm like, I also understand that he's testing for most people.
Yeah.
Of how they use. So it will be nice, probably in my lifetime, to do a test of photography of cameras, phone cameras, from a photographer's perspective. Because I feel that's very different from how Marquez will do it. Because he's a tech guy.
Yeah, him is definitely tech.
How he determines this is a good camera is different from how I will determine what is a good camera. But that on the side, I'm not saying that to drag him because I love he's a tech guy, not a photographer.
Yeah.
So for me, what I'm in love with is photography, and I realized that with film. Like I realized I love the art of photography because I pick up a film camera and I love just going back. Not even going back because I never started with film.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of shooting without
Yeah.
even knowing exactly what's happening, but I understand what's happening.
Yeah.
In my head, it's that understanding, and there's no checking that I'm correct.
But do you know the people who you can like actually now respect? Remember those people who used to come to gates and actually use film to take pictures
Yeah.
of people and actually like tell you like, oh, you know, you pay this amount, I'll bring back then. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a
And then they bring back the pictures after like a week, and the pictures are amazing. They're
Yeah.
sharp, they're clear, and all they did is like 2-3 clicks.
Yeah, they've figured out their craft. They've
Yeah.
figured out to get, and you have to respect people who they know this is what I need to achieve,
Yeah.
because they were not out there trying to be like art photographers. No, they're trying to shoot pictures of people doing things, and that's it. And they figured out the best settings for when the sun is out is this, and they know their craft. They are so much better than most people that you'd see now, who
Yeah.
every time you have to shoot to see how it looks like,
Yeah.
and then be
Delete.
like, oh wait, oh the settings are not right, change this, and
Yeah.
so excuse me.
It's okay.
Yeah, so I think if photography is what you love, the tech might be exciting, but it won't be the most exciting thing
Yeah.
in photography.
I think that's
So
why-
for me, it's not the most like the cameras are not the most exciting thing
Yeah.
in and of themselves.
Yeah.
What excites me is what I'm able to capture with this. Like even when it comes out, like even now I'm trying to upgrade my camera.
What's your current? Oh wait, what was your first camera?
My first camera was a Nikon D40. It's not even been
D40.
Yeah, it's not even in production anymore. I don't even know what the equivalent will be right now.
Okay, and what's your current camera that
My
you're
current
using?
is a D610.
Apart from D610.
D610 is my photography, is my main workhorse.
So you're like a Nikon person?
I'm a
Are you like a
Nikon guy. I
brand
love
name?
Nikon.
Nikon.
I don't care about the brand,
Okay.
but I love Nikons. But it's not like I don't care about Nikon enough.
But why? Why Nikon? Why not Canon? Or
It's the camera I started with, but over time, Nikon, let me tell you, Nikon is I feel like Nikon is a brand that cares about photography.
really
Yeah, they don't.
better than Sony or Canon?
Sony is a TV maker.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Kwanza, my favorite reviewer of cameras, my
Yeah.
favorite reviewer,
Who's that?
is that same guy, Ken Rockwell. I like him because he buys his own cameras. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't get sent things.
Oh, he doesn't want any, so that he's not
Always,
biased with
yeah.
any info.
He buys everything. And when he likes a camera, he keeps it.
Yeah.
The ones that he's like, okay, I've reviewed it, I don't like it as much, he sells them after. But,
But
he buys
at least
them.
even in the States, you can actually buy, and there's that return policy
there's a
thing
return.
that you can
But he buys and use, like he does proper reviews.
using and makes.
And what I like about him, he's like a no BS reviewer.
I think
He
that's,
tells you
yeah.
the truth. Is like, he's one of the guys who always says, if he finds 40 something megapixels unnecessary for any camera. He's like, unless you're one of those tech guys who peep pixels, who look
Yeah.
at pictures at 100%, because
Yeah.
nobody ever looks at
It
pictures
makes
at
no
100%.
sense at times, because I
It's
keep
like-
telling people, by the way, there are some pixels to me that don't make
unnecessary.
sense, because are we even like doing
Well, that's the
billboards
reality.
the same way we were doing? See, it's now it's
And
digital.
he's like, look,
Yeah.
unless your photography is mostly for billboards, it makes sense. Pick the 40
yeah,
megapixels.
Yeah,
But that's like 10% of people shoot for billboards.
yeah.
10% of people actually even print their work.
Mm.
The rest of us, we are good with 24 megapixels.
Yeah.
So I like him because he says as it is. And
Like, just focus on what you're actually
Yeah.
doing. Don't keep chasing.
like people want the expensive one or the latest one. So, I read his reviews, and the other day, because I was checking out the review for the new mirrorless Nikons, because that's
Yeah.
what I want to get. I feel like it's a difference enough in a camera to want that from my D610, because the D610
Yeah.
is like the entry. Once you get into Nikon full frames, it's the first camera
That's the first one.
at the bottom,
Mm.
and then from there they get better.
Mm.
And I want to upgrade because I've been shooting with my camera maybe 3-4 years,
Because like
maybe
if-
3 years.
I mean, I've been using this is a A6300. It's micro four thirds.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Yeah,
It's a
it's
crop
micro.
sensor. Let's say a crop sensor, right?
But it's not Micro Four Thirds.
It's not.
It's APS-C.
Oh, it's APS-C.
Yeah.
Sorry, my apologies.
Micro Four Thirds
Yeah.
is totally
APS-C.
different.
Yeah.
This is I feel like
Micro Four
APS-C is
Thirds is
better
like
than
in
Micro
a
Four Thirds.
Panasonic GH4s,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So this, I've been using it for the longest time, and people keep thinking that I have a full frame. I've never even used a full frame Sony.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what I can do with it, and I still think that I haven't actually used or just figured out how to use it to its full potential.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about it's not the camera, it's the person, I understand what you're talking
It's
about.
definitely the person.
But so you never feel the pressure of hey, this is new, I need to get this new.
In fact, I love making amazing pictures with old technology.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
then it's
Mhm.
just proof even to myself. I never want to feel like it's the camera that made me.
Controls you
Yeah.
or controls how your work is going to look.
I never want to feel like the camera is what made me.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. I want to always be like, I did that, and if I go to a place and I find that my camera doesn't work and someone has a point and shoot, I want to believe that I can take that.
Let me take that
And
and
make-
actually
and
still
still work.
execute and make something
Yes.
decent out of it.
Yeah.